It is with great pleasure on behalf of Brainerd Public Schools to welcome all of you here to join us in this special evening to honor and celebrate Joey Halverson. It's appropriate that we have a first tonight in that we are awarding two distinguished honors to one very unique person. She's one of a kind. This has not happened before, and I can't think of any other person more deserving than our Joey. Before we begin, I have one announcement. I'd ask that you please silence your phones during our ceremony. Now, if you know me, I would have normally requested that you put your phones away, but many of us know that this special program tonight is competing against the NCAA Women's Final Four basketball game. And well, I thought for some of you, it might be just impossible not to check a score. Joey, would you like me to hold your phone? As a pioneer for women's athletics, it is a wonderful coincidence that this event is on the same night of likely another record-breaking viewing of these women's athletic basketball games. Let the celebration begin. At this time, I'd like to welcome City of Brainerd Mayor and Brainerd High School alumni, class of 2001, Mayor Dave Badeau.
Thank you, Andrea. First of all, I want to say welcome to all of you for joining us tonight. It really means a lot to us that we see the large turnout that we have here. Before we get started, I have a few people that I want to thank. First and foremost, I want to thank John Erickson of the Brainerd Public Schools. All of this that we see here tonight is because of John. John has worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make this happen. I was also handed a lofty script as to what I am to do at each moment. I believe at this moment I'm allowed to breathe. So I will do so now. I also want to thank ISD 181, Superintendent Hahn, as well as Principal Andrea Rusk for having us here in this wonderful venue. The last time I was in this venue, I jokingly said that we should name it the Mayor Badeau Center of Excellence. I see that as not happening, so if you get started on that before you leave, that would be great. Next, I would like to thank all of you for showing up. This is a huge thing that we're doing tonight. We are recognizing one of our own, and we are giving thanks for the wonderful gifts that you bestowed upon us in your time. But you can't do that unless people from the community actually show their thanks as well. So a huge round of applause for everyone here tonight for coming to represent our community. And then lastly, I'd like to just say thank you to Joey. Joey, it has been a pleasure as both the mayor and executive director of community action to get to see this entire process play through. And we'll talk about it later, but one of the things as the mayor that I often get to do is come to events like this. But what we don't do enough of as a community is thank and celebrate people that go above and beyond. This is an opportunity for us to do so, and you are a unique individual that deserves this specific thanks. However, as a community, I think we can do a better job of continually championing people that stand up and do this stuff as well. Brainerd is a unique community. The city of Brainerd is 14,000 people. We've been 14,000 people for 100 years. It's a bit odd. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. But what we are as a whole, and what we see is in the summer, we get larger people come back. We see individuals like Kate that I graduated with, who, this is the first time I've seen you, Kate, I believe, since we've graduated. But it's a unique experience where people continually come back because there's something that draws us to this area. And it's individuals like Joey that allow us to do so. So without further ado, I want to thank everyone for joining us, and please enjoy the rest of our presentation.
Thank you, Mayor Bedeau. Next, we welcome two of our Lakes area movers and shakers to the podium. Sheila DeChantel, 2020 Brainerd Citizen of the Year, and 2023 Brainerd Public Schools Legendary Woman, and Kevin Thiesing, 1999 Brainerd Citizen of the Year, and 2019 Brainerd Public Schools Distinguished Achievement Hall of Fame member. Please help me welcome Sheila and Kevin.
Thank you, Andrea. Joey! Yeah. Joey! Hey, Cody.
Hey, Cody.
Sheila and I are former Citizens of the Year, and we get to share with you on behalf of all the Citizens of the Year what a Citizen of the Year actually is.
So Citizen of the Year is someone who goes above and beyond in their community. Not at their paid job. It's not doing your job really well at work and creating things and getting paid for it. It's not for your paid hobbies. Citizen of the Year is someone who loves their community and enjoys doing things to help better it, asking nothing in return.
Sometimes the individual has made a tremendous impact in the last year or two. Sometimes the individual has made a tremendous impact their entire life. Being named Citizen of the Year means that you have the privilege of representing and recognizing all the people in the community that also make an impact and make a difference. All of you are those people. Thank you, all of you, for what you do. So over the last 50 years, our community has wrapped its arms around us and said, thank you, we love you. These individuals have come from various backgrounds and from various walks through life.
Some have been tall.
Some have been short.
Some have been old.
Some have been young.
Some have been men.
Some have been women.
Some have been quiet.
Some have been not so quiet.
Some have had money.
And some not so much. Most of us have given most of it away along the way. So while we're all different, we're all the same in at least a couple of ways. One way is that we all love the Brainerd Lakes area. And the second way is we all love you, Joey Halverson.
One of the special attributes of Joey is, of course, her commitment to service. She is a model for all, especially to our younger generation. I'm proud to introduce President-elect of the Brainerd High School Keep Club, Bridget Wells, to speak, and I'd also like to introduce Joey's student escort for the night, Autumn Schiller. Autumn is also our social media editor of our Key Club for next year and our vice president currently. So please welcome Bridget Wells.
Joey Halverson was an extremely active high school student. She was co-editor of the yearbook, in the band and current events club, and she was an academic leader, graduating third in her 1961 class as an honor graduate with distinction. Not only an involved student, she also was an athlete in a time when there were no girls authorized competitive athletics. An incredibly hard thing for Joey to endure, and today very hard to believe. Nevertheless, her class of 1961 selected her to be the most athletic girl, a high honor then and now recognized through VHS coaches as part of the VHS All Sports Banquet. As always, Joey was ahead of her time. At Augsburg College, she earned a bachelor's in biology. 27 years after Joey played women's basketball, softball, and volleyball for Augsburg, she was inducted into the Augsburg College Athletic Hall of Fame. Joey's decades of working life have given her a wide range of experiences. Most notably, community action, where she was associated with the Citizen of the Year program, the startup of Kinship, and the rejuvenation of the 4th of July parade. She also worked as program director at the YMCA. A through thread, probably dating back to her Brynonian days, has been her work in photography, both professionally and as a volunteer. Even now, she is an assistant archivist for Brainerd Public Schools Archives, and she is a former Photographer of the Year in the Brainerd Lakes area. If there is one thing the words of Joey Halverson tell those who hear them, then it is servant volunteer. Her history of giving is exhausting to read, but includes Friends of the Library, the Legendary Women of Brainerd Public Schools Hall of Fame, People for Racial Justice, the Salvation Army, Nisswa Lions, United Way, Community Action, Evergreen Cemetery, and the Crossing Arts Alliance. If there is something new, then Joey Halverson has been there already. Different leaders lead in different ways, but they are visible, can be heard, and are not late to the game. Joey Halverson, the Brainerd Community Action 2023 Citizen of the Year, and simultaneously for the first time ever, a member of the class of 2024 Distinguished Achievement Hall of Fame, has never been late to the game.
Action Executive Director, David O.
Thank you once again, Andrea. I'll take my mayor hat off quick, but before I do, I will say that we're going to have to go back to the taxpayers to get that sound for the slideshow. Joining me on stage right now are 5 of our previous, there we go, there's the fifth one. Come on, we'll do 6. 6 of our previous Citizen of the Year award winners. Right now, if there's anyone else in the audience that is a previous Citizen of the Year award winner, could you please stand? Do we have any other ones with us? There are 49. There we go. Some very recognizable faces. You can look into your program there. It will give you a list of all the recipients that have received this award over the years. But the reason I've asked these handful of citizens to the stage tonight is because this is an award that is not about names in a pamphlet or lists of achievements. This is an award that's about individuals within our community. Now, I'm not going to say them by name because most of them have had enough recognition. They're all stars in their own right. However, as we all know, these individuals, as well as the other individuals that have stood, and all of the individuals that have won this award, are people within our community that continually stand up and do a little something extra. They are all unique. They will not all take the same path to winning this award, and I think that's really important because that's not what a community is. A community is not one person standing up and doing things. It is people collectively working together to have a building, a foundation of what we should be and what we should strive to be. So this award is very specifically handed out to individuals from all walks of life within our community that go that little something extra and really strive to be a representative of our community as well. Now, one of the individuals that I have here, Joey, if you can actually join us, please. One of the individuals that I have right here is last year's winner, Mr. Mike Anglin. Now, we did not have an award ceremony last year, so Mike did not get his award. So Mike, I'm going to hand you your award quick. And now, Mike, I think you waited long enough. Can you please hand that to Joey? So this is the part where I get to speak about Joey specifically. Throughout the night, I've spoken vaguely about community. I've spoken vaguely about us being a group of individuals that are something greater than ourselves. But the unique thing about Joey is that some of us in the community, myself included, are pretty loud. We tend to talk a lot. Sheila, I'm looking at you, we're from the same family. I don't know if people know this or not, but I'm related to Sheila. I think it shows. But not everyone is of that nature. There are individuals in our community that are behind the scenes, or in this case, behind the camera. People that are just there on a regular basis, that show up and do the work, and are constantly a representative of who we are collectively. And I think it's so unique in Joey's instance that we have this award that is selected each year. There's a process for nomination. The nominations come through, they come through my desk, I get to see every single one of them. Some of them good, some of them not so good. Some of them not so good. But in this instance this year, we had something very unique. We had a handful of packets come in for Joey. And when we did the selection committee, we sit around, we eat some pizza, we read through all these things that people have done. And I had to do something unique this year. I had to give all of the other award nominees and set them out, and we looked through all of those because we needed to do our due diligence. Everyone deserved to have us look through their achievements, and there were some very good nominees, very good nominees. But then I had to go to my office and select the 5,000 nominations that came in for Joey. And I say that jokingly. However, when I handed each person the stack of nominations, it was very astounding. Very clearly, this person has the support of the community. And I can't say enough, Joey, about what that means to me, because it shows, just like tonight with all these individuals that are here, what you mean to this community, and you are a fantastic representative of Brainerd. And so I want to thank you. If you can come to me quick. I know we already gave you a reward, but I want to thank you, Joey, for being our 2023 Brainerd Citizen of the Year.
To present the Distinguished Achievement Hall of Fame recognition is Brainerd Public Schools archivist and 1967 Brainerd High School graduate, John Erickson.
You know, there probably have been 30, maybe 40,000 graduates of Brainerd Public Schools, going back to probably early 1880s. We didn't have graduates right away. We were just starting public education at the time on the prairie. But think about estimating the numbers here are pretty hard because we don't have hard numbers from way back when. But 30 or 40,000 is my best guess at how many have gone through public education here. Of the 30 or 40,000, over the last 20 plus years, on the instigation, I believe, and I will say it as a matter of fact, and he will have to wrestle me to prove me wrong. We have Superintendent Bob Gross, who is with us here tonight. Bob, nobody's going to see you. Applaud Bob. And the power behind the throne, Judy, is ever-loving and tolerant wife as he's traveled her around the globe. Bob, we love you for all the great things you did for Brainerd Public Schools more than once. Called back into action again when we had a hiccup along the way. But of those 30 or 40,000, in the Distinguished Achievement Hall of Fame, selected by a committee serving on their own time from the community, we have had now approximately 80 people who have been honored with this award. I'm told that in the military they don't talk about honoring people with awards, they talk about recipients. And that's, I think, a better way of doing it, because it's a way of saying there's a degree of humility that goes with this, even when we look at the numbers. Those of you who do math, Joey, I know, believes that there's something mystical about math. She says to this day she loves math, and I can't for the life of me understand that. It turns out to be like 0.5%. That's not 5%. That's like half of 1%. So this is an august body, and I can tell you I've looked at every one of the 80 or so. And among them, there are the somewhat expected people. One being my classmate, who I know is a man far beyond his record as to his goodness, but just his record alone. Command of the 8th Air Carlson. And also many others, including two I will mention. Many should be but aren't in our Hall of Fame. It's impossible to name everyone who should be. One went to the South Pole twice with Admiral Beard. The first time when he went to the South Pole, he came back and he received a Congressional Gold Medal and a ticker tape parade through New York City. Second time he came back, he won a Congressional Silver Medal. Not sure what he did that didn't merit the gold. The Admiral, by the way, got the gold the second time. But what's really fascinating is that the first time, because he was the chief geologist on the expedition, he went out, mind you, this is like 1929, 1930, somewhere in there. He went out on the ice cap in a storm and almost died because nobody knew where he was. By chance, somebody stumbled over Admiral Beard, I think. But he discovered the mountain at the South Pole. He, our graduate, discovered the mountain. It's 10,000 feet high. And the mountain is named after him, Quintus Blackburn, Mount Blackburn. And lastly, by way of some name checking for you, to give you a sense of how important it is, first, that we identify people among us who we honor because we aspire to be like them. But also to show you what the measuring stick is for those we honor today. Joey Halverson. The last mention is a man who was rising the ranks of the Navy. He had won the Navy Cross in World War I. The Navy Cross. That's the second to a Medal of Honor. Only the President can award a President a Medal of Honor. The Navy's top award is the Navy Cross. And he won it. He was the recipient of it. Just before World War II started, he had a heart attack and died. He would have been an admiral. As World War II ground down, the Navy named a destroyer after him, the USS Wallace Lind. The Lind family still remains in Baxter Brayton. That warship was present at Iwo Jima, for those of you who remember Iwo Jima. It was present when the flag was raised over Mount Ceremonial. It was present when several other graduates of Brainerd Public Schools hit the beach. No place to hide. And that vessel, the USS Wallace Lind, sailed into Tokyo Harbor with the Missouri for the surrender by Japan, thereby saving many of our men's lives who were in prisoner of war and forced labor camps. That's the type of person. In her own way, in her own remarkable, as has been said many times, unique way. I've known Joey for, 40 years, something like that. She never ceases to astound me. And I have studied her. I have studied you, Joey. Believe me, I've studied you. I've looked at every pore in your face. I've watched her haircuts change. I can't keep up with all the sweatshirts. I don't know. But my kitty cat at home, Elliot, loves the one kitty cat sweatshirt you had up there. That's the measure of this woman. Joey knows what I'm about to say because she is truly a hidden scholar. I don't know that too many of us who know Joey look at her and say, Joey, you're a scholar. We look at her in so many different ways that we can't list them all. But scholar, I don't know. I mean, third in her class, that astounded me when I saw that. But I read more about her, what all she did. Beyond that, all except, of course, girls' athletics, which didn't exist. The yearbooks back in that time period, by the way, referred to the GAA and the GARA, some of you know that. The yearbooks referred to it as girls' athletics. Yeah. Joey was a big part of changing that. But Joey, quite apart from this irrational interest in math, I'm a liberal arts guy myself, so you can understand that. Joey will understand this phrase, and maybe some of you who are, let's say, roughly my age or in that ballpark, will also understand this. When I say, and Joey, listen now, carefully. Where are you, Joey? Here it comes. Veni, vidi, vici. She said, I came, I saw, I conquered, and that's right. And I've translated that in my notes here, which I still can read, even though I put them in 24 print so I could be sure to read them. Loosely translates for my purpose here, although I think, Joey, we both had Mildred Schulberg. Yeah. Mildred O'Brien Schulberg, for those of you who are of a certain Irish slant, taught us Latin, old school Latin. She remembers it more than I do. I was lucky to remember Veni, Vidi, Vici. But it translates, for my purposes here, addressing you, Joey, you came, you saw, and you conquered. So there, as we know, as we've been around longer in life, all of us know that we're all different somehow. And I'll try to put it in a few words, and it's not the few words of a retired lawyer, it's truly a few words. There are among us those who see the world and all that's in it differently than the rest of us see it. This is a vision. It's not seeing. There's a distinction between seeing and a vision, much as there is a distinction between looking and seeing. All of this goes to a higher degree of intelligence. This vision can be intentionally masked, or for my purposes here, innocently lived. Either way, do we really see it? Understand it? How many of us knew that Joey Halverson, to this day, in her 80th year, loves math and sees the beauty in math? There could be a movie about you, Joey. You know, A Brilliant Mind or something like that. There was, by the way, a movie about Whittier Elementary School principal. I won't go too far with this, don't worry. That opened at the Brainerd Theater. At the time, there was one theater. It wasn't the Brainerd Twin, and now it's a parking lot, but it was a real theater. Jimmy's popcorn wagon was outside. It opened on or about December truly was a movie about a Brainerd educator, and so, Joey, there's hope for you yet. Joey is the latter type, I think, innocently lived. And so the brilliance, that's the word, the brilliance, that is Joey Halverson, innocently lived, touching all of us in her own unique, remarkable, thoughtful, kind ways. I have the great honor and pleasure, on behalf of your grateful community, to declare your admission to the Brainerd Public Schools Distinguished Achievement Hall of Fame, and to present you with this plaque. You all have a surprise. You don't know what's coming yet, but just it'll be in a minute or two. I have this pleasure of presenting this plaque to you, and I'm going to first of all publicly admit that the plaque's name is misspelled. Don't ever say Halverson. Halverson. This son of a gun says Halverson, and I'm going to pay for that forever, I suspect. We'll change it. But it says this. It's pretty simple, but it encapsulates in ways that are so Joey-ish who she is, was, has been, and will be forever. These plaques have to have a line on them that says, what the heck is it that this person is being recognized for distinguished achievement? And it's like the mayor said, it's not necessarily something that happened yesterday, it's a cumulative thing. It only happens to the few, the very few. And Joy, for sure, you're one of the very few. It says, distinguished achievement, philanthropy. Master of Ceremonial back there, or somebody, I'm not sure where we go at this point. Whoever's got to start.
It starts with parents who love and care and pay attention to who you are, who you really are. Like giving me football shoulder pads for my 7th birthday instead of another doll. Just because I asked for the shoulder pads. Parents like my mom, a public school kindergarten teacher, and like my dad, a public school board member, both of whom who taught me how important education is, and more difference makers in my life. Growing up, my 6th grade teacher at Lincoln Elementary, Mr. Winch, who called me into the office because my friends and I were making fun of another student. Mr. Winch told me the story of the student I had been making fun of, causing me to change my behavior and to invite that student to my birthday party. I have kept in touch with her forever after. I continued to be inspired by my brilliant public school teachers throughout my time in our school. Kate Torgerson, affectionately known to all as Torgy, who helped me to love languages, especially something few know about me, Latin. Mr. Herman, who took me on the German language journey. Hildebrandine, who showed me the fun, yes, fun of mathematics. And the great, one-of-a-kind Branhen, who let us play and enjoy all sports, even though all of those sports were not yet legal for girls of my era. Unbeknown to the powers that be, Fran, as she was known, took a team of us in her station wagon under the darkness of night to play a real game of basketball in the Crosby Ironton High School gymnasium, where we played with only one lifetime. But I didn't care because I was playing the game I love. Education, which has been in the heart of my life, continued at Augsburg College, where I got to play almost real basketball. The women's game then, in the early 1960s, was characterized by a limited number of allowed dribbles, so little movement or speed, and all but two players had to stay on their half of the court. Luckily, and probably to no one's surprise, I got to be a roving guard and therefore legally be able to play the whole court. I was in heaven. My friends and I made it through the assassination of JFK in 1963 and took a trip to Europe in 1965, hitchhiking through a lot of countries before we finally bought an old Volkswagen in Munich. Life is up and life is down because we later crashed the Volkswagen outside Paris. But I remember, and from the memories of my life, I have lived on. In the case of my trip to Europe over 60 years ago, I am still able to go there in spite of all my photographic slides of the trip being ruined years later in a damp basement. I can always and forever go to Europe because I lived it. After my graduation from Augsburg with a chemistry degree, I went to work. Those who know me are not surprised to learn that I did not consider that to be as fun as basketball. So I quit work and returned to education. One of the North Stars of my life, this time at the U of Minnesota. At the U, I learned and learned and learned, but I got to play high caliber intramural basketball with my professor because I had used my eligibility up for playing intercollegiate basketball by my years doing so at Augsburg. It is the game of basketball that I love, not who I could play with, and that has been a consistent theme in my life. Live doing what you love to do, even if it is not at a star level. Give of yourself in partnership with others on whatever that team is to help achieve the goals of that team. By the various experiences I have had, the highs and lows of life, I have learned that there is joy in living life, but there's even greater joy in living life with and among and for others. I have not had material wealth, but I have been the beneficiary of the giving of good friends, family, discovered family, extended family, and causes always worthy of support for the betterment of all. This has been a journey of learning every day from everyone I have been fortunate to encounter along the way. I am so, so grateful.
Wow. It is a pleasure to welcome home a 2001 Brainerd High School graduate who serves as the client services for the ALS Association. She resides in Minneapolis.
What
I'd
makes a
like to
difference?
welcome Kate Holden Nielsen.
Hello, as she stated, my name is Kate Holden Nielsen, and I am a speech-language pathologist at the University of Minnesota's ALS Clinic, and also at the ALS Association. But most importantly tonight, I am a Brainerd Public School alum, 2001. I first met Joey Halverson on what some people would say was the hardest day of her life, the day she was diagnosed with ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. But I actually recently asked her about that, and she said that that's not a true statement. She says, and I quote, "I don't have a worse day. It was just another day." And I feel like that sums up Joey pretty well. So I was introduced to Joey just moments after her neurologist confirmed the diagnosis of ALS. I was asked to meet with her about changes in her speech and swallowing, including what she had already experienced as well as what she could expect to experience moving forward. I attempted to break the ice by mentioning to her that I too am from Brainerd, and instead of being emotional having just received this diagnosis, her face lit up. And she didn't want to talk about diseases. She wanted to know who my favorite teacher was, what activities I was in, all of those Brainerd things. And it was clear to me in that moment how important Brainerd is to her, and it reminded me how important it is to me. So after maybe a little too long talking about the Brainerd dance team, okay, sirs, I went on to explain what ALS is and how it may affect her in the coming years, as well as how the ALS Association could support her. And she asked me to come here tonight to explain it to you and to spread awareness of ALS and to help others living with ALS, which again is so typical Joey. So I'll start with a brief video. amyotrophic literally means without muscle nourishment. Lateral refers to the way the motor neurons travel along the spinal cord, and sclerosis refers to the hardening or scarring of the motor neurons after they die. So that's really a bunch of words. What does it really mean? Essentially, the message from the brain to the muscles is disconnected. Those neurons die, so that the muscles can't move. This can include the muscles of your hands, your arms, your legs, the muscles of your mouth and throat, and those muscles needed for breathing. ALS typically starts in one of these areas, but then spreads to the others. The average life expectancy is 2 to 5 years, and during this time, the muscles slowly, or sometimes rapidly, weaken until they are paralyzed. In 90% of cases, there is no known cause. In the remaining 10%, there is a genetic component. And now researchers, thanks in large part to the funds from that ice bucket challenge you guys might have gotten cold over 10 years ago, and funding from our organization, we have found several of the genes linked with the hereditary form of ALS, and have used that knowledge to develop treatments and to prolong the lives of people living with ALS. However, at this time, it remains an always fatal disease. Now, the ALS Association not only supports research of ALS, but we also have a large advocacy department to help foster government partnerships to impact public policy. But where my heart is with the programs and services we at the ALS Association provide to help those living with ALS and their families. These programs include a medical equipment loan program through which we are able to loan necessary equipment like walkers or wheelchairs, a communication equipment loan program through which we're able to loan out iPads or other devices to help those who lose the ability to speak still be able to express their thoughts and ideas, a smart home program so we can loan out smart home devices so if things like turning on the lights or using the fine motor movements of your fingers to control a TV remote become too challenging, you can either use their voice or the voice of one of those communication devices to control their environment. We have a voice preservation program where we can record someone's voice before they notice significant change, so it can be their voice that comes out of those communication devices. Support groups for people living with ALS and their caregivers. Through our home safety evaluation program, we have a qualified therapist look at people's homes and talk about modifications or adaptations to keep them at home and safe as long as possible. We have grants to help offset the cost of living with ALS. We have a ramp program where we help to pay for the cost of a ramp to get in and out of your home. We have a family assistance program. This is a group of fabulous, amazing volunteers that can come out to the home and shovel the snow or mow the lawn, maybe both in the same week sometimes. But any household chore that becomes too difficult or just too daunting, they can help with. We put on education events like this one to help spread awareness of ALS. And then our two newest programs, we have a Creative Pursuits program, which is a creative program including classes like drawing and poetry, comedy, music, photography. I've seen some really awesome stuff through that program. I've seen someone use their eye movement to compose music. It's just really a really neat program. And then our most recent program is the Senator Thomasoni Caregiver Support Program, which provides support to help cover the costs associated with in-home care if a caregiver needs extra support to care for their loved one while keeping them at home. There we go, we got it. Go to the next one though. So now I have had the pleasure of working with Joey on many of these programs, and I hope she would say it has improved her quality of life and her ability to navigate her ALS journey. And I would love to continue to talk about this. I'm very passionate about it, but I heard there's a basketball game. So if you want to learn more, I'm at the red table in the back.
appreciate you coming home to help support this event. At this time, I'd ask you to please sit back and enjoy a presentation of the art of being Joey. is Dr. Heidi Hahn, Superintendent of Brainerd Public Schools. Don't anybody tell me the score of the basketball game yet. Joy doesn't want to know either, right, Joy? Thanks, tip-offs happened, right? Yeah. Okay, all right, so we'll make this quick. But before I close out, I do think we need to make sure that we thank and honor some people who really brought this evening a celebration for Joy together. I'd really like to thank the Distinguished Hall of Fame Committee, so if the members of the committee could please rise, we'd really like to thank you for all that you do. Our Brainerd Public Schools archive staff, so they've been out back helping serve cookies, and they've made sure that these images, especially under the guidance of our wonderful John Erickson, we thank you for making sure that our history is alive and well. Thank you to Mayor Bedeau and Community Action for partnering with us and bringing with us our Citizens of the Year. You're amazing, and we're thankful for your partnership. And then what I'd really like you all to do is to take a moment and look around at who's in this room. So I know but you need to look. I mean, I've had the privilege of being able to see and look out, and all I can do this evening is smile. And my heart is so filled and so happy because there are so many of you that are the goodness of all things in this community. And it just is no shocker, Joey, that when they said there's going to be an event for Joey Halverson, look who shows up. Right? It was also very joy when we had the honor and privilege of being able to let her know that she was going to be inducted into the Distinguished Achievement Hall of Fame, that she took the opportunity. So, Kate, thank you for being with us. There she is. I thought that would be sure, but she's being with us to, again, demonstrate the life and service of Joy. So taking this moment to inform us about ALS, Joy and I connected on a different level. We've known each other for a long time, but my father passed away from ALS, and it just means a lot that you again in your lifetime are stepping up for service. So thinking about Joy, because the funny part is when you say Joey, right? And I know when talking with Teresa from the dispatch, she's like, everybody I'm talking to, that's the first thing they say. Everybody knows Joey, right? And so the question is, why does everybody know Joey? So when you think about that, why does everybody know Joey? And again, when I look at who's in this room, and I look at Joey, the reason we know Joey is because Joey has taken the time to know us. Right? Joey slows down and tries to learn more about you. Right? We want to know about her, and the first thing she does, just like Kate gave a great demonstration of, she wants to know more about you. She gives her energy to you. She pays attention to you. And I know all of us, when we've walked into a room or when we've bumped into Joey, what's the first thing Joey does? Joey cares about us. She's given her life to bring service to us. And Joey loves us. I do. Joey does. So there's a song that I love to listen to, and it makes me think of Joy every time. There's probably a lot of songs that make us think about Joy, right? Okay, but this one in particular, Stephen Curtis Chapman is the author of this song,
And these are the words that when they come on, I might crank up the radio a little louder. But it's Joey. What if we lived with a heart of kindness? What if we loved like we've been loved? If that's all that we're remembered for, well, let that be enough. So when they stand and tell the stories of who we are and what we've done, of the 1,000 things that we could leave behind us, if they say just one word, well, let that word be kindness. So Joey, this night is all about you. You've all been very quiet, so what I think we really need to do is let's play honor and tribute to our dearest friend, Joey.
We're going to give Joey some more center stage. Tonight was a very special night, and I want to thank you for being here and being a part of it. This evening would not be possible. I know we've thanked a few people already, but I want to convey that this evening would not be possible without our Brainerd Public Schools archivist, John Erickson, as Mayor Bideau said, and also those who assist John. It's fun meeting the people working for our archives. Also, this brochure here is beautiful, and I want to thank Kevin and Lakes Printing. It's a great handout. And finally, a person that many of us also know that is leading the front of the house in theater words is Sherry Delahunt. Sherry, thank you for everything. And all the other committee members that we have working on the Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame. We ask you to stay for a reception to follow in our beautiful lobby, but I have a couple of announcements. First is, as a safety precaution, we ask you not to come up on stage. And also for the people here who have been part of the ceremony, please stay on for photographs. And also, you will see at the, maybe you missed it, but I want to remind you, at the welcome table tonight, there is a piece of paper, and it says, "Here's to Joey," and you can write your own thoughtful response to her message and put your information on there. If you came in before the ceremony, she's like a celebrity. There was like a line. And so if you'd like to leave a message, I know that Joey would just love it and appreciate it, so please do that. Joey, I want to thank you for being you, because you, in your message here in your video, the journey of learning, I learn from you every time I get to hang out with you. And I want to congratulate you for this very unique night of celebrating you for the honor of Brainerd Citizen of the Year and a new member of the Brainerd Public Schools Distinguished Achievement Hall of Fame. Congratulations, and I'll yell Joey. Joey!